All right, so we're back and ready for another deep dive. This time we're looking ahead to the Panthers and Eagles game this weekend.
The big game.
Big game. We got a whole bunch of articles here all about the Panthers' practices, how they're prepping for this matchup. And
a lot of pregame analysis.
Yeah, a lot of pregame analysis, exactly. Should be pretty fascinating to see if they can pull off the upset, against a team like the Eagles.
Yeah, it's a compelling matchup for sure. I mean, the Eagles, right, they're known for that dominant run game. Their secondary's been shutting down quarterbacks all season long. And then on the other side, you've got Bryce Young, right, rookie quarterback trying to lead the Panthers to a win, really against the odds.
Yeah, and that's actually where I wanted to start with Bryce Young. The articles keep bringing up this baller mode he's been using lately. What is that exactly?
So it's more than just scrambling when the play breaks down, although he was amazing at that in college.
Okay.
Like, think of baller mode as this, calculated second play. Like, it kicks in if, let's say, after 2.7 seconds, that initial play, hasn't developed.
2.7 seconds. That's a tiny window.
Oh, it is. And it takes incredible athleticism, awareness, decision-making. Young has to, instantly read the situation and decide, do I use my legs to extend this play? Or do I attempt, a high difficulty pass when I'm under pressure?
And he's been doing both really well. He's leading the league in big-time throws over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
What even is a big-time throw? How's that defined?
So a big-time throw, you're talking about a pass that requires, exceptional accuracy, timing, touch, often thrown into tight coverage, defenders closing in. It's that kind of throw that separates, good quarterbacks from the greats.
Right.
And Young has shown he's got the arm talent and the poise to make those throws.
So it sounds like the key for him against the Eagles, against this defense, is finding that balance. Knowing when to activate baller mode, when to stick to the, traditional play.
Exactly. He can't be reckless. The Eagles are known for forcing turnovers.
Right.
Young's got to be smart about taking risks. There's a lot riding on his decision-making this game.
Especially with how tough their defense has been, all season. And I know their run game is a big factor in that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Eagles' rushing attack, it forces opposing defenses to stack the box.
Oh, right.
So they're committing extra defenders to stop the run, which leaves, fewer guys to cover receivers downfield.
So how do the Panthers counter that? I mean, do they try to, outmuscle the Eagles on the ground? Or do they just trust Young to exploit that lighter coverage?
That is the million-dollar question. It's the dilemma facing the Panthers head coach, Dave Canales, right now. Does he feed Chuba Hubbard, who, he's been a beast in the run game lately, or does he let Young air it out?
Both choices have their risks, for sure.
Yeah.
Seems like Young's decision-making and maybe that baller mode is going to be the deciding factor.
There's no doubt about it. He needs to be decisive, accurate, take advantage of any opportunity the Eagles' defense gives him.
So this is sounding like kind of a chess match between Young and the Eagles defense. Every move matters.
That's a great analogy. And it gets even more interesting when you think about their secondary. Even without tight end Dallas Goedert and safety Reed Blankenship, who are both out with injuries, they still have a very, very strong secondary.
Yeah, the articles were talking about these two rookie corners for the Eagles, Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. They've been playing like seasoned vets.
Oh, for sure. Their coach has been raving about them, their intelligence, physicality, competitiveness. They haven't been, your typical rookies getting picked on by opposing quarterbacks.
Young's got his work cut out for him. He really needs to be at the top of his game to succeed against these guys.
No question. But there's another factor we got to consider. The Philadelphia crowd.
Oh, yeah. I read about that Eagles fan who tried to get on the Dolphins team bus just to trash talk Robert Hunt and his teammates.
Oh, yeah, right. That just shows you the kind of atmosphere we're talking about.
Intense.
Philadelphia, a city known for passionate fans, let's just say.
Hunt said that Eagles fans don't really give a damn.
Exactly. That's the kind of environment that can either fire up a team or totally intimidate them. It'll be interesting to see how a rookie quarterback like Young handles that. It's a double-edged sword for sure. But back to Young, back to the Panthers game plan. They'll need to find any weakness, any crack in this Eagles defense if they even want to think about winning.
Well, one area they might be able to target, the Eagles' backfield. They're going to be, without their starting safety, Blankenship. He leads the team in interceptions.
Right. Blankenship's out. That does create, a potential weak spot, especially for deeper throws. But here's the thing. Young's stats, when you look at those deeper throws, not as strong as his intermediate passing game.
So it's a gamble for the Panthers. Do they stick with what Young does well, even though that's kind of where the Eagles excel? Or do they take that chance and try to exploit the backfield?
That's the tactical puzzle Canales has to solve. It might just come down to those split-second decisions. The moments when Young has to trust his gut, maybe even activate that baller mode to make something happen when there's nothing there.
And speaking of instincts, we've talked a lot about Young avoiding those big hits, sliding more. But what about the Panthers' defense? I mean, they're facing a real challenge in the Eagles' offense.
Oh, absolutely. Like we said, their rushing attack, it's one of the best, and their offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, he's known for those creative, unpredictable plays.
Yeah, the Panthers' defensive coordinator, Evero, he even said they can't just focus on the run. He called the Eagles' offense firepower.
Right. Ever's got a tough job ahead of him, almost like, the student facing the mentor, because Evero learned from Vic Fangio, who's now the Eagles' defensive coordinator.
Oh, another layer to this whole thing.
Right.
So how do you think Evero will approach this? Will the Panthers try to play it safe, just contain the Eagles? Or will they be more aggressive, try to force turnovers?
Hard to say for sure. Evero's known for that aggressive style.
Right.
But he's a smart coach, adapts to his opponent.
Yeah.
Against a team like the Eagles, maybe a balanced approach.
Meaning,
contain the run game as best they can, force Hurts to make quick decisions, and then hope to, capitalize on mistakes, create those turnovers.
tall order, but that's what it takes to beat the Eagles at home.
Yeah, exactly. Sounds like we're in for a pretty intense, exciting game.
Oh, yeah.
Both teams need to, execute perfectly.
Exactly. And let's not forget the wild card here. The Panthers, rookie class. You've got multiple starters on both sides of the ball, and they've been exceeding expectations.
Big time.
They're being called the kids in these articles, and they're definitely making a name for themselves. Canale even said he's willing to take some lumps this season to let them develop.
Yeah, and what better way to, speed up that development than to throw them in the fire against a team like the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
This game is a real test for them, their character, how they perform under pressure.
And speaking of pressure, the weather in Philly could also play a factor. Supposed to be windy, which, that can affect both teams' passing games.
Oh, yeah. 53 degrees, 16-mile-per-hour winds. Not exactly ideal conditions, especially for a rookie quarterback. Although, Chuba Hubbard, he's from Canada, he joked that he's hoping for snow.
Well, a little snow might actually work in the Panthers' favor if they decide to rely on that run game.
You never know. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Weather is just one more thing in this already, crazy matchup.
Okay, so to recap, the Panthers, to pull this upset off, Bryce Young has to be at his best, smart decisions, baller mode when it's needed. Rookies need to step up, play at a high level. Their defense has got to contain that Eagles run game, force turnovers, and they're doing all this on the road in a tough environment, and the weather might be bad.
You got it. Tall order, but not impossible. They have some advantages, too.
Oh, right.
Their defense has been playing well. Their special teams unit, led by Raheem Blackshear, that's been a real weapon for them.
Yeah, Blackshear is second in the league in kickoff return yards.
Exactly.
If he could break one for a touchdown against the Eagles, that could change the whole momentum of the game.
Special teams can be a game changer for sure, and the Panthers are strong there. Never underestimate the impact of a big play on special teams. It can really energize a team, shift the momentum.
Sounds like the Panthers, they have the pieces.
Yeah.
But they need to execute perfectly, capitalize on every opportunity.
You said it. They need a near-perfect game to have a chance against the Eagles. But if they can do that, they just might pull off the upset.
One thing we haven't talked about is the potential impact of Jadeveon Clowney, Panthers veteran defensive end. He's got that knee injury, not sure if he'll play.
Yeah, that's huge. Clowney, when he's healthy, he's a disruptive force. His presence would be massive for the Panthers defense. Game changer.
Yeah, the article said he's been practicing on and off. But his status for Sunday, still up in the air.
If Clowney can play, even if he's not 100%, that gives the Panthers a serious edge in containing that Eagles run game, putting pressure on Hurts. They can be more aggressive, take more risks.
We've got Bryce Young, the Panthers rookies, Clowney's health, special teams, and of course the Eagles offense and defense, all coming together in this game.
It's going to be fascinating to see how it all plays out.
It really is. It's like, a classic matchup. You've got a young team up and coming against a seasoned veteran squad, a rookie quarterback trying to prove himself, tough defense, and all this uncertainty, key players, the weather.
This is what we love about football, right? The unpredictability, the drama, the possibility of seeing something amazing happen.
As we've been talking, breaking this all down, it's obvious, right? The Panthers are facing a real uphill battle here.
Yeah.
But something about this team, makes me think they've got a shot.
Yeah, I see that too. There's this like resilience, grit, especially in these young guys. They seem to thrive on, proving people wrong, exceeding expectations.
And that's what makes this game so interesting. It's more than just like two different teams clashing. It's styles, experience versus youth. Rookie quarterback trying to make a name for himself against a veteran team in one of the toughest places to play in the NFL.
It's what we love about football, right? Unpredictable, drama, the chance to see something special.
I think that's why I'm so into this matchup. Bryce Young, crazy talent, that baller mode, going up against a defense built to shut down guys like him. You've got the young, hungry team wanting to make a statement against a perennial contender, and then you throw in the Philly crowd, known for being intense, affecting the game.
Recipe for an unforgettable Sunday, no matter what happens.
So, final thoughts. Can the Panthers pull this off, or are the Eagles just too much for them?
Tough one. On paper, Eagles have the advantage pretty much everywhere you look. Experience, depth, home field. But the Panthers have something you can't measure. Heart. Belief. And that young QB who, well, he seems to get better under pressure.
So you're saying don't count them out?
Right. I think the Eagles are the favorites, yeah. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Panthers kept it close. They could find ways to exploit that Eagles D. And if Bryce Young plays like we've seen glimpses of, could definitely be an upset.
All right, so there you have it, everyone. We've looked at the matchups, talked about the key players, all the things that could affect the outcome. Now it's your turn.
We've given you the info, the analysis, something to think about. What are your predictions? Share your thoughts. Join the conversation.
Can Bryce Young and the Panthers overcome the odds? Beat the Eagles in Philly? Or will the Eagles be too strong, keep that winning streak going, send the Panthers home with a loss?
Let us know what you think, your predictions, your insights. What's going to happen Sunday when the Panthers and Eagles clash?
And make sure to join us next week for another deep dive into the NFL. We'll be breaking down all the big stories, analyzing those interesting matchups, continuing to explore this amazing, ever-changing sport. Until then, keep learning, keep exploring, keep diving deep.